This is a short video to talk about the thinking behind the curriculum. The idea is if you know why the curriculum is designed the way it is, you'll know how to deliver it. So let's start by talking about the design philosophy. It's got four components behind it. The first one is that the focus on success increases self-confidence. So your appreciative focus on successes develops trust, and it also reduces the need to problem solve the wrong problem. It celebrates the woman's past ability to succeed and thereby increases her self-confidence. There are paper artifacts that the couples create and that the individual businesswoman creates. And when you create a paper artifact with a collaborator, it reduces the risk of conversation and individual ownership because you're creating an object. It's not something that you still hold in your heart as your own thing. In all cases, whether working with an individual businesswoman or with a couple, the businesswoman is the decision maker, and you'll see a lot of emphasis in the curriculum on this point. So the partner becomes a thoughtful collaborator who's encouraged to think along with the businesswoman. The businesswoman makes all of the decisions about her business. So no shoulds. You'll see there's also a reduction on giving advice and sharing experience instead. And when you set these expectations at the start of every session, it'll make it easier to reinforce the behavior that comes up in the moment. So this leads us into modeling behavior. Modeled behavior is way more effective than lecture on how to behave. Effective communication techniques that you're going to be demonstrating are more likely to continue when you modeled them consistently. When you help couples practice them during the session, then they know what to do when you're no longer in front of them. The behaviors are built into your facilitation process, and you also call them out in ground rules, setting a level playing field. Now let's talk about roles. So obviously they're very important. The focus is always on the woman's business, even when the partner is supporting her. So the focus is always on the woman's business, whether you're working with an individual or whether you're working with the couple. This curriculum is about behavior change, which you're all familiar with. Most DOT curriculum includes behavior change. In this one, what you're looking for is change in communication. So communication that's open, that's curious and collaborative, that has a neutral power dynamic. In partner sessions, the partner collaborates with the businesswoman and sets aside his own ownership and decision-making as they work together on her business. After each activity, you can ask each one of them to reflect what came up for them and how their individual experiences are shared or might be different. This is a replacement for giving advice and offering what should be done. You're the role model for all these new behaviors. So you'll need to consistently model the behaviors that you're teaching, and you'll guide the participants in trying on the behaviors while you're there. Once the participants have the opportunity to practice the process in person with your guidance, they can get it right on their own. You will have to explain and reinforce the roles used during the session, probably fairly often. You're the guide, she's the decision maker, he is the thoughtful partner offering a different but supportive perspective. Now let's talk about structure. So there are 3 home sessions, and each one's about 2 hours with 30 minutes set aside for greeting, homework follow-up, and setting expectations. All of these parts are really important because they set the basis for what's going to happen in the home. So the learning activities are planned for no more than 90 minutes. You already know the audience, but it's worth reinforcing here. So you have two separate audiences. One is the couple that you'll be working with, and a different audience is the woman business owner as an individual. What's true about this is that the activities will be pretty much the same no matter what the audience is. You'll just have to include the partner in your conversations and your debriefs. So there's a lot to pay attention to in addition to the content. You're going to have to be the star communicator. And you'll learn about supportive listening in the TOT so that you can model that at all times. You'll also have to stay open and curious so that you become a star example. So, and on top of all of that, of overseeing and encouraging roles in managing behaviors, you're going to have to minimize distractions, which are going to occur in the home. You'll have to manage time, which is quite tight. You'll have to get the work down on paper before you leave. And you'll have to get commitment on follow through and then come back and return to that commitment. So the homework is also very important.